In the mid-late to 1990s, Chief Honda designer Martin Manchester was given the brief to build a motorcycle that would showcase Honda's design, engineering and new materials and production techniques while demonstrating Honda's new levels of performance and technology, and it was to be the ultimate showpiece for Honda ingenuity. There was no restriction on what could be built. There wasn't really a budget as such. It was kind of like, yeah, whatever it's going to cost, and no real idea on the weight, maybe less than half a metric ton, but it was a pretty open brief, and this wasn't going to be just a concept show bike. Honda was actually going to put this bike into production, and the bike was to look the same as the final chosen concept. But as we cut to the end of the story, as it was, the whole exercise finished up costing Honda an estimated $100,000 to build each of the 3,000 bikes. It was a limited run, but each bike was then on-sold at around about 25,000 United States dollars, and then Honda found themselves successfully losing $225 million. Honda released a promotional video that was very dramatic but also had some quite lame text. Quote, "A bike prophesied in a dream of desire, conjured in the magic of engineering and delivered into the hands of those who believe." Really? I'm not really sure that Honda actually worried about losing a lot of money. It wasn't really about making profit, you'd think. It was really about the technology and the innovation and the design, and it was about what Honda could actually achieve, and many of the design elements from the Rune flowed eventually onto other bikes that would be in Honda's future. You can love it, you can like it, or you can hate it, or you can even try and ignore it, but this bike was designed to be exactly what it is. It's a showcase for Honda design and ingenuity. There's a lot to like about the bike, and there's a few bits I'm not really sure about, but hey, that's design. And the thing about the bike is, the more you look at it, the more design elements you see, and the more you can appreciate it for what it is. Designing the bike started with using the power plant from the original Honda Valkyrie F6C 1500. In fact, Honda had already started developing a few concept models, with the Zodia being revealed at the Tokyo Motor Show in 1995. In short, Honda engineers and developers had 4 concept models: the T1, the T2, the T3 and the T4. The T1 concept, and putting myself in the position of someone in a focus group, it looks great in yellow and I think it would sell, but maybe it just looks a little bit too custom build. And this is concept T2, but nah, I could never build a bike like that. Concept T3, maybe drag strip inspired. The pipes look like those on the old Triumph Hurricane. Look, it's nice, but again, is it still maybe just only a great custom build? Now, Concept T4, it was kind of different. It was built under the guidance of the master fabricator Mike McCluskey to specifically demonstrate Honda's new build capabilities. And when you look at it, you can see that it has a lot of really nice features, very, very special, very, very custom, but maybe not a design that would sell in great numbers. So which one was it going to be? Honda submitted the 4 concepts to various focus groups comprised of people who like bikes and know stuff about bikes, and the overriding opinion 4-1 was for concept T2. Honda were surprised and maybe a little bit concerned about this because they'd already started developing concept T1, as they thought that this would be the chosen design. However, they really couldn't afford to get the styling wrong and make the wrong bike, and so they went with the choice of the focus groups, realizing that they were going to have to modify their current plans and rethink a way forward. Can you imagine the atmosphere in the design room when they were told they were going to have to start again? Even the lead project designer, Manasori Aoki, thought that the concept was too radical to actually build. There were many doubters. Honda designers recall one person saying that he would buy this bike just as it is, but he knew that it could never be done. Quote, "It would be impossible even for a company such as Honda to build a bike just like this." And this seemed to be a significant moment in the development of the Rune, and for Honda it was from then on a matter of challenge accepted, and away they went. Now, challenge accepted is an easy thing to say, but the challenge truly in building the Concept T2 was to make the bike the same as the concept design. Among many challenges was the task to build the exhaust so it looked the same as the concept bike, and to design a radiator with enough capacity to cool the monster engine and pull all the weight without digressing from the overall design of the concept bike was indeed something that they were going to have to really struggle with. To me it was a bit like building the Sydney Opera House. Jorn Utzon designed the building, but at the time there wasn't the technology available to actually build it, and the costs spiraled and Utzon quit, and the finished product as we see it now isn't exactly true to Utzon's original design because there just wasn't the technology to build it. Much unlike Honda, who with building the Rune, like if the technology wasn't available, they'd invent it. And not for just a one-off build, this was going to be a full-on production bike. And it was true to Concept T2, and looking back, that was simply astonishing. Here we see the T2 prototype and the final product pictures, and it's really difficult to find the differences. The addition of traffic indicators and such is one, of course, and that the handlebar design has changed, but it is so true. The motor wasn't the standard 1800 Goldwing GL 1800 motor of the day. It now had 6 throttle bodies, hotter camshafts, more aggressive fuel settings and ignition timing maps, and even though the power of each bike is pretty much the same, I suspect maybe Honda tweaked the motor to cater for the extra weight of the new Rune, and it weighed in at 403 kilograms as compared to the Goldwing 1800, which weighed a measly 343 kilograms. The Rune was 60 kilograms heavier. That's a big difference. The motor is exceptional, but not to any degree more so than a Goldwing or a Valkyrie, but that's not what the bike's about. It's about what they did with the motor within the total Rune package. The number of Runes that were actually built at the Marysville factory in Ohio is uncertain, with numbers estimated to be between 800 and 3,000. However, there are rumours that there are still quite a few sitting in boxes in storage somewhere, but that could just be an urban myth. Sitting on the Rune, the first thing you notice is just how much motorcycle there is in front of you. The tank is so long and the headlight is way more narrow and longer than you'd think when looking at the bike from the side. Riding the Rune is actually much like riding a Goldwing or an 1800 Valkyrie for that matter, just with a lot of extra weight and way extra chrome. In fact, it's really hard to take a picture of the bike close up without seeing yourself reflected back from a piece of chrome somewhere. For most of our ride together today, Dean punted his bike along at the speed limit, occasionally giving it a little bit of a twist of the throttle. It's the huge torque and acceleration you get in any gear at any speed. This is what the heart of what this bike is. The thrust you feel as the motor surges this massive bike is just so intoxicating. Today I'm riding with Dean on my Royal Enfield Classic 350, and while I'm getting mostly great views of the rear of the Rune, in my head I'm doing some mini Honda Rune versus Classic 350 comparison, and sometimes I just had to blast past. This is a long, steep hill, and slowly the little Classic catches the big Rune as it runs out of puff. Classic is now in 4th gear and at the peak of the torque band, and I'm pulling away from the big old girl. by a Rune. Look, it's certainly an oddity and it looks expensive and it's powerful, but there are other bikes out there that are powerful. It's got lots of chrome, and other bikes have lots of chrome, and it looks great, and the Rune looks great. Maybe not the best looking bike out there that's ever been made. However, I think that a major factor in what makes this bike so unique can be found not only in the way it looks and performs, but very much in the history of how this bike actually came to be, and maybe that's a good enough reason on its own to buy one. Nice work, Honda. Thanks for watching, and thanks for watching through to the end. If you've enjoyed the video, and you probably have, if you've made it through to the end, give us a thumbs up, and you might even like to subscribe down below. That'd be really great. So until next time, go well. Okay, you're on. Thanks, man.